श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम्। ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे श्रीगुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्रीशङ्कराचार्य स्वामिने नमः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम।
नमस्ते महोदय। हरिहरन महोदय।
हरि ओम सर।
हरि ओम।
यथा ते मोघकलिलं बुद्धिर्व्यतिदर्श्यति दरिष्यति तदा गन्धासि निर्वेदं श्रोतव्यस्य श्रुतस्य च।
Good. Next.
लक्ष्मी बीवी भगिनी।
Yes. श्रुति विप्रतिपन्नाते यदा स्थास्यति निश्चला समाधावचला बुद्धिः तदा योगमवाप्स्यसि।
कृष्ण पावनी भगिनी।
नमस्ते महोदय।
नमस्ते।
अर्जुन उवाच स्थितप्रज्ञस्य का भाषा समाधिस्तस्य केशव स्थितधीः किं प्रभाषेत किमासीत व्रजेत किम्।
ललिता रामचंद्रन भगिनी।
Yes, Maudya. Shri Bhagavanuvach Prajahati yada kaman sarvan parthamanogataan atmanyevatmana tushtaha stitaprajnastadocyate.
Good. So now just a quick summary. When you looked at the second chapter, we initially up to 30 odd shlokas, there was a lot of discussion about the Lakshana of Atma. And Sankhya yogis were the people who were fully committed to contemplating on the Atma and getting the knowledge of the Atma. So it was called Sankhya Yoga. And up to the Shloka 30 or so, there was a lot of emphasis given by the God, by Lord Krishna, in terms of Sankhya Yoga and Atma in particular, about the Lakshanas as Atma. Then slowly he was talking about the need for Arjuna was not Sankhya Yoga, but his need was for Karma Yoga. So he was slowly moving towards Karma Yoga. And then he was talking to Arjuna about the Karma Yoga principles. And then for the Karma Yoga principles, he was also emphasizing about the Karma, Karma Pala, Papa, Punya, and then Samatvam, and the Karma Kaushalam, all those kinds of things he was teaching Arjuna. And he felt that Arjuna is a good candidate only for a Karma Yoga and not for the Jnana Yoga. That is, not for Sankhya Yoga, not for a sannyasi. If he was of the firm opinion that Arjuna will be able to realize himself only as a Karma Yogi, being a part of the samsari and being a part of doing his own job and then getting into understanding the true sense of oneself. So he said he is a candidate only for Karma Yoga, and he is now trying to talk to you about the Karma Yogic principles. Okay. And then when he is talking about Karma Yoga, most of us, if you look at majority of us, we are all people who can only take Karma Yoga path. As far as if we want to gain knowledge, Karma Yoga is a path that is possible for all of us who are all deeply engrossed in our samsara. We are all having families, we are all having multiple things to do. So under this particular situation, it is best for us only to take the Karma Yoga route. though Karma Yoga or Jnana Yoga or Sankhya Yoga, that may be called, at the end of the day, the knowledge has to come in. Okay, so he is a Karma Yoga, is the only path that this particular Arjuna has to take, which is also for most of us, or rather many of us. Other thing is that Karma and Karma Yoga are totally different. When you do a karma, you are always expecting phala. So that is the driver is kama. Kama is raga dveshas, and then that drives you to do a karma, and then you get something. Then you have a desire for doing more and more, getting more and more, because you want to satisfy yourself with the external world of objects. So when he is talking about karma yoga, he talks about the person who does not lay emphasis in terms of the phala. He also starts talking about the need for the two things, samatvam and karma su kaushalam, these two things he taught. Now what happened is that Arjuna has got now a doubt. That he is asking a question to Lord Krishna in the previous shloka, the last but one shloka that we started discussing yesterday. He asked him the question, Sthita Prajna, who is a Sthita Prajna? How does he talk? How does he sit? How does he walk, etc. He was just asking a question to just know externally about a Sthita Prajna. Sthita Prajna, we may have to understand, is a person who has been able to know himself. A person who has been able to understand his personal self, his Atma. He is a person who we can also call him as a Jivan Mukta. He is living in this world, he is amongst us, but he has been able to understand his own self. Okay, he is a Sthita Prajna. Then the question arises, if this person who is a Sthita Prajna, who is amongst us, was a Sthita Prajna in his previous Janma, let us assume, then he would not have been born, because when he has got the knowledge, then he would have already gained his moksha in the previous Janma itself. Now, that particular person has become Sthita Prajna with this body, means he has undergone certain process, he has undergone certain kinds of practices, which has taken him to this particular situation where he has become a Sthita Prajna. So the question that Arjuna asks, the Lord understands that he has got to not only address the question, but he also has to address Arjuna's actual question that he is having in his mind. Arjuna as a person also he has got to answer. So now he is telling how this particular person, who is a Sthita Prajna amongst all of us, who is there in this particular Bhumi, what are the things that he would have done to come to this particular stage. So if this particular person has followed these kinds of means or these kinds of practices, and he has become a Sthita Prajna, what are those things is what now God is going to talk. He is talking about that, which means that whatever he is going to talk in terms of how a Sthita Prajna has become a Sthita Prajna in this life is applicable to all of us, that if we are able to also follow those processes when we are in this body, in this world, we also have the opportunity for knowing ourselves. It is not that Sthita Prajna was born Sthita Prajna. He was born as any one of us, and he has taken a kind of a process, or he has taken certain means by which he has been able to come to a Sthita Prajna in this life, in this body. So he has already become a Jivan Mukta. He is sitting in the body, but he is already become a Sthita Prajna, or person who is knowing himself. And he does not have any more birth and death. He is already a mumukshu. He is already a liberated person. Okay. So what are the things, what are the means that helped him to become Sthita Prajna is what God is talking now, which is applicable for all of us. Okay. So it is not something as a for somebody like some very learned person, etc. It is for all of us that the Lord is talking about. So Arjuna only asked him, how does it walk? How does he talk, etc. But Lord goes to the extent of telling that in the case of Sthita Prajna, in the last shloka that we studied, even as the desire comes in the mind, he is able to remove it from the mind. He does not allow the mind to have the desire, putting it into action to the body-mind complex. He is able to Manogatan Sarvan Kaman. He is able to take it out of his mind itself when any of those desires come, and he is the one who is Atmanyeva, Atmaniyeva Atmana Tushtaha. He is happy with himself, and he is the one who is called Sthita Prajna. Okay, so that is what we stopped yesterday. Now God continues.
Rajeshwari Shivashankar Bhagini.
Namaste Mahodaya.
Namaste. So I'll in this particular shloka, what I'll do is that I'll first tell you about the second half of the first padam, then develop the entire first pada totally. Okay, you chant the way I am chanting. Manaha,
Mahaha,
manaha.
Manaha.
You see the word manaha, no? At the end of the first
Ah,
pada.
ha, 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 ah.
Manaha,
Manaha,
vigna manaha.
Vignamanaha,
Once again,
Vignamanaha,
udvigna manaha.
Udvignamanaha, Udvignamanaha,
Anudvigna manaha.
Anudvignamanaha, Anudvignamanaha,
Dukkeshu.
Dukkeshu, Dukkeshu,
Anudvigna manaha.
Anudvignamanaha, Anudvignamanaha,
Dukkeshvanudvigna manaha.
Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha, Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha,
Sukeshu vigata spruhaha.
Sukheshu vikataspruhaha, Sukheshu vikataspruhaha,
Dukkeshvanudvigna manaha. Sukeshu vigata spruhaha.
Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha, Sukheshu vikataspruhaha, Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha, Sukheshu vikataspruhaha.
Good. Next.
Sheila Shinde Bhagini.
Yes, ma'am.
Vitaraga bhaya krodha.
वीतरागभयक्रोधः वीतरागभयक्रोधः
Stitadihi.
स्थितधिः स्थितधिः
Munihi.
मुनिः मुनिः
Uchyate.
उच्यते उच्यते
Muniruchyate.
मुनि मुनिरुच्यते मुनिरुच्यते
Stitadir muniruchyate.
स्थितधिर्मुनिरुच्यते स्थितधिर्मुनिरुच्यते
Vitaraga bhaya krodha. Stitadir muniruchyate.
वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधिर्मुनिरुच्यते
Stitadir.
ओके वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधिर्मुनिरुच्यते वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधिर्मुनिरुच्यते
Okay, next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bhagini.
Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha. Sukeshu vigata spruha.
दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः.
Next.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Vitaraga bhaya krodha. Stidadhir muniruchyate.
वीतरागभयक्रोधः वितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते वीतरागभयक्रोधः वितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते.
Good. Next.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
Yes.
Yeah, chant the first line twice slowly.
दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः
vanudvignamanaः sukeshu vigataspruhah.
Good. Next.
Vijayalakshmi Bhagini.
नमस्ते महोदय
Namaste.
वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते
Good. Next.
Kashmira Bhagini.
The two lines slowly once.
Yes. दुःखेष्वनुविघ्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते.
Can you chant them again slowly, the first line?
दुःखेष्वनुविघ्नमनाः
Please. Vignamanaha, Udvignamanaha, Anudvignamanaha. That it should come. Anudvignamanaha, Dukkesh Vanudvignamanaha.
दुःखेश अनुविघ्नमनाः.
So you say Va only. Dukkesh Vanudvignamanaha.
Is not a good word. Okay. दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः.
Right. Now next line.
दुःखेष्वनुविघ्नमनाः.
I am not hearing the id in your chanting. Dukkesh Vanudvignamanaha.
Okay. दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः.
Right. Udvignamanaha means disturbed mind. Udvignamanaha.
Okay.
Okay. The id should come. Okay. Just try that.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Next.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
Yes.
Two lines slowly, please.
Okay, sir. दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते.
Good. Next.
Sri Lakshmi HR Bhagini.
Namaste Mahoday.
Namaste.
Both the lines.
Both the
chant.
lines once. Slowly.
दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते.
Good. Next.
Rajalakshmi Bhagini.
Namaskar Swami.
Namaskaram.
दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते.
Next.
Shanti Badri Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
दुर्गेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः दुर्गेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः.
Srimati Bhagini. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Next.
Namaste, Mahodaya.
And the two lines slowly once.
Yes, ma'am. दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधीर्मुनिरुच्यते.
I think we'll go to the meaning. All chanted very well. Okay. Now we are talking about a person, a munihi. Munihi means a person who has understood himself, a kind of a person who has got the knowledge of the self. Stitadihi. Stitadihi means who is able to be in himself. Stitadihi munihi uchyate. Who is that particular person who is able to be always in his own self? What is one of the characteristics of him? Udvignamanaha. When you say Udvignamanaha, what does it mean? All of us are shaken by pain or sorrow and we get totally disturbed, right? We get mentally disturbed. So Udvignamanaha is the total disturbance that we have when we are confronted with some pain or sorrow. Udvigna manaha. So when is the udvigna manaha comes? Dukkeshu. When we are having some pain or sorrow, immediately the mind gets absolutely disturbed, shaken up. Okay. So we just feel that the entire world has fallen on our head. So in all these kinds of pains and sorrows, totally shake all of us. And primarily, where does this sukha and dukkha take place? It takes place in the mind. At the end of the day, happiness and sadness is all happening in the mind. So when you have dukkha, all dukkhas is going to make a person totally disturbed mentally. One. So what has happened is Dukkesh Anudvigna Manaha, the person who has been able to realize himself, when he is confronted with pain or sorrows, also Anudvigna Manaha, he does not get rattled. He just remains calm. He is absolutely not at all going to have any kind of disturbance that is going to come to him, because he knows Sukha and Dukkha are going to keep on coming. That is what is life. You cannot always have happiness. You cannot always have Dukkha. Sukha and Dukkha are going to be a part. It is both of them are opposites will happen. Jaya, Vijaya, Jaya, Jayo, Siddhya, Siddhau, Sukeshu, Dukkeshu, all these things will keep happening. So he knows that. So he is not going to get disturbed, because he is not a person, he is a wrongdoer. He is a person, he is a karma yogi. He knows what is to be done and he is doing that. He is a karma yogi. When a karma yogi is not going to do anything wrong to anybody, so he is very clear. Some dukkha has come, some pain or sorrows is there. Okay, let it be there, but he is not going to get shaken up by dukkha's. Similarly, sukeshu vigatas pruhaha. When sukha happens also, he accepts it, but he does not yearn for it. Because sukha and dukkha happens, but it all happens in the mind, but he does not earn for it. He says that, okay, this was very good. Having a cup of ice cream was very good. He doesn't say, I want one more. No. It came to me, good. So Sankaracharya, in one of the beautiful compositions of Prathama Grantha called Sadhana Panchakam, he says about how we have to start working. What is the way we have to start organizing ourselves? In that he says that these kinds of people, Swadvanam natu chashyatam, these people do not run after food, that I want to go there 40 kilometers drive and then have a pizza, or go and have some Chinese food, or go and have some sweet. No, they don't have. Swadvanam natu chashyatam. They don't start running around food. Vidivashat praptena santusyatam. Then they just go and sit in the dining hall. Immediately they serve some very good food. They serve some jangri, Mysore pak, chapati, everything of his taste. He is happy. He is vidivashat praptena. Whatever comes to him, the day he has got to eat, it comes, he is happy about that. Next day he is just getting a small amount of green and some rice. He is happy. Similarly, these people don't yearn. They get happy. They don't get. Still they are happy. So sukeshu vigatas pruhaha, dukkeshu anudviknamanaha. Okay, so these are the two characteristics. They are not going to start jumping when there's going to be a rejoicement when something good happens, or going to start sinking when something, the dukkha comes in. And other thing is that Vita Raga Baya Krodaha. Vita means free. Free of what? Raga. Raga means kama. Kama means desire. So here they put only raga. Actually, we should understand it is raga dvesha. So they are free of raga dveshas. They don't have likes or they don't have dislikes. They are free from likes and dislikes. They are having no fear. When do people have fear? If the fear is normally on something that is not other than you. I find that my problem is that when I have something else, somebody else or something else or some other object which can trouble me, that is only the fear. Fear is there only when we have something other than me is going to cause trouble for me. These people who are Advaitis look at everything as themselves. The entire universe, they are looking at themselves, whether it's a cow or you'll read these things in the coming shlokas. But for them, everything is the manifestation of God. If everything is manifestation of God, and there also God, there's no fear. because they already understood themselves. They know the real self. So they don't have any kind of fear. Whether a lion comes or this thing comes or any problem comes, Bhaya is not there. Raga is not there. Bhaya is not there. Krodha is anger. They are also able to overcome the anger. They don't get angry for everything. They are going to remain calm. They will not be perturbed. So these are the basic qualities some of the qualities that you will be able to find in the person who is a Sthita Prajna. Dukkesh anudvignamanaha, dukkeshu anudvignamanaha, sukeshu vigataspruhaha, vita raga bhaya krodhaha, chitadir muni ruchyate. Okay. Then, for example, I'll tell you, now the thing is that we need to start seeing how we are going to start taking this one and see how are we going to come out of raga dveshas, how are we going to come out bhaya, how are we going to come out of anger. So these are all very beautiful words, but how do we start translating that into our own lifestyle can be one question. In fact, I'm just sharing one personal discussion that I had with one of my friends. We were in a camp in Rishikesh for 10 days. So we said that after 10 days, what do we do? 10 दिन के बाद क्या करेंगे हम लोग वापस जाके कुछ do you think we should make some changes to our life? Then he said, let us try to only address krodha, anger. Then we were discussing how to address anger. Then we said that we'll do one thing. We'll just try to take an assessment of how many times we get angry on a daily basis. Okay. Supposing we get daily angry, we are getting angry around 15 times a day. First, we shall do that. This 15, I'm going to make it 12 over 1 month and make it 9 after another one. So we'll try to have a kind of plan. The number of times I'm getting angry over the various things, I'll decide that these things I'll not get angry in future. This 15, I'll make it 12, 12, I'll make it 9, I'll bring it down. So that is one thing that we can look at it. Whenever anger comes, let us see how to handle it and then reduce the number of times we get angry on the various instances. That is the first thing that we thought we'll work on. Second thing is that the duration of anger, we said, will control. Supposing I am angry for 2 minutes, we'll make it 1.5 minutes only. Beyond 1.5 minutes, we should not get angry. So we have to come out of anger in a lesser number of times. So we started looking at the frequency and the time duration. If we can perhaps work on these two things consciously, that I am not going to get angry today more than 9 times. Or these kinds of incidences which caused me anger yesterday, I am not going to get angry. That is one way of working. Then if I get angry, if that anger was persisting for 2 minutes, if I may reduce it to 1 minute, that's a very good development. So this is one simple example I'm giving. So this is the way one can control the anger. It is not that we can overnight become a sadhu and become absolutely free. So for everything, you may have to think what all these factors which causes raga dveshas or bhaya or krodha and understand it ourselves and then say that for this one, instead of getting fear on 10 different things, I'll make it only 8. I'm not going to get afraid of these 2. I'm not going to get afraid of my insecurity in future. God is there to take care of me. So I will not worry about this. Something like that, you may have to work it yourself. Then you will be able to work on this. I will not be able to give you a formula, but I'm just telling you an example. You may have to perhaps see how you can start working on your own raga dveshas, your own fear and your own anger. And when you start working, you'll find an improvement. And that is what God is telling to Arjuna. There's Dukkesh Manudvignamanaha Sukesh Vigataspruha. Get out of the yearning whenever something is very interesting, get out of the yearning for that. And then Dukkam, when it comes, you try to see how you are not going to get affected or troubled by that. And that is the way, one of the things that you can go for improving to become a Sthita Prajna. You can march towards Sthita Prajna type of a capability. So this is a mean, this is a tool that God is giving. Okay, next.
Anupama Pat Bhagini.
Yes, 1 second.
Bhagini.
Yeah. Yes, sarvatrana bisneha.
Yes, sarvatrani bhisneha.
No, I'll break it down. Yaha.
Yaha.
Sarvatra.
Sarvatra.
Anabhisneha. Abhisneha.
Abhisneha.
Anabhisneha.
Nabhisneha.
Anabhisneha. Anabhisneha.
Anabhisneha.
Sarvatra anabhisneha.
सर्वत्र अनभिस्नेहः
Sarvatra. When you say stra and a, then they add it becomes a. Sarvatra navisneha. Sarvatra navis.
सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः
Correct.
सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः
Yes, sarvatra navisneha.
यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः
Sarvatra, not sarvatra. Yes,
सर्वत्र
sarvatra nabinas abhisneha.
यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः
Once again.
यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः
When you say it together, you don't have to say yaha. You can say
Hmm.
yes, sarvatrana bisneha.
यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः
Tattad,
तत्र
tattad, adu, tattad,
तत्तत तत्तत
prapya,
आप्य प्राप्य
tattad, prapya,
तत्तत् प्राप्य तत्तत् प्राप्य
shubha, shubham,
शुभाशुभं शुभाशुभं
tattad, prapya, shubha, shubham.
तत्तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभं तत्तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभम्
Yes, sarvatra bisneha. Tattad prapya shubha, shubham.
यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः तत्तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभम् यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः तत्तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभम्
Good. Next.
गुरुमूर्ति महोदय
Yes, sir.
Na
Na
abhinandati,
abhinantadi abhinantadi
nabhinandati,
nabhinantadi nabhinantadi
nabhinandati nadveshti.
nabhinandati nadveshti nabhinandati nadveshti
Tasya prajna pratishtita.
tasya prajna pratishtita tasya prajna pratishtita
Nabhinandati nadveshti. Tasya prajna pratishtita.
nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratishtita nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratishtita.
Good. Next.
ज्योतिर्मयी भगिनी
Yes, sarvatra nabhisneha. Tattad prapya shubha, shubham.
शी इज नॉट ज्योतिर्मयी भगिनी शांति भगिनी
No, I'll tell you. I'll tell now, then repeat. Yes, sarvatra nabhisneha.
Yes, sarvatranabhisnehah. Yes, sarvatranabhisnehah.
Tattad prapya shubha, shubham.
Tattat prapya shubhashubham. Tattat prapya shubhashubham. Yes, sarvatranabhisnehah. Tattat prapya shubhashubham. Yes, sarvatranabhisnehah. Tattat prapya shubhashubham.
Good. Next.
शरद चवन महोदय
Nabhinandati nadveshti. Tasya prajna pratishtita.
नाभिनन्दन्ति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता नाभिनन्दन्ति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता
It's not nandanti, it's nandati.
नन्दति
Not nandanti.
नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता
Okay. Okay. Next.
K. Lalita Bagini.
First line 2 times, please.
Yes, sir. यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः तत्तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभम् यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः तत्तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभम्.
Good. Next.
Sai Lakshmi Bagini.
Second line twice.
नमस्ते महोदय.
Namaste.
नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Good. Next.
Sharada Rajan Bagini.
The 2 lines slowly once.
यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः तत्तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभम् नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Good. Next.
Lalita Ramachandran Bagini. Lalita Ramachandran Bagini. Veena Fani Shri Bagini.
Hello.
Okay, Lalita Ramachandran Bagini. Okay.
2 lines slowly, please.
Yes, sarvatranavisneha tattat prapya shubhashubham nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratishtita.
Next.
Veena Fani Shri Bagini.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, सर्वत्राणविस्नेहः तत्तत्प्राप्य शुभाशुभम् नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Good. Next.
Sri Lakshmi HR Bagini.
Namaste, Mahodaya. Both lines once I should
Yeah,
check.
both lines once.
Yes, सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः तत्तत्प्राप्य शुभाशुभम् नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Good. Next.
Rajeshwari Shivashankar Bagini.
यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः तत्तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभम् नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Good. Next.
Srimati Bagini.
Yes, Mahodaya. यः सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहः तत्तत् प्राप्य शुभाशुभम् नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता. Thank you.
So now we'll go to the meaning of this shloka. So if you look at sarvatra has got a meaning that situations. Okay. There are a lot of situations that we face in life, and what the situation give to us, we prapya shubha shubham. Those situations will give us good things or ashubham, not a good things. We'll have pleasant things or unpleasant things. So sarvatra we are going to get shubha or shubham. Tattade prapya will gain shubha or ashubha. So situations will give us either a shubha or a ashubha. These are two things that we can get. Okay. Now what happens is that yaha, the one, sarvatra shubha shubham prapya, when he is getting all these kinds of shubha or ashubha at different times, different situations, anabhisneha, he does not get attached to it. The person who is not getting attached to the outcomes of situations which may provide pleasant things or unpleasant things, he is not getting attached to it. Okay, so here the word sneha is used. Sneha means affection. Okay, and one of the Sanskrit words, what I understand is it's also called sticky. When you stick something, it's called sneha in Sanskrit. So with relationship and affection, everything sticks to you into your life. So we say sneha means it sticks to you. Affection sticks to you. So long as you have affection, it is very good. But when the affection becomes attachment, the problem starts. So long as we have got affection and love for children or things that we have is good. But the same thing, when attachment is going to be there, then we'll have all kinds of problems, because when you have attachment to anything, your emotional dependence depends on the well-being of the other one. That is attachment. If you are attached to somebody or attached something, then the well-being of that will have a tremendous influence on your own well-being. You cannot be independently happy, or independently you are not able to be free. You are going to be absolutely dependent on something else for your well-being. That is attachment. So attachment, now you can start looking at attachment from different perspectives. It may be attachment for different things. I don't want to elaborate. You yourself will be able to elaborate that. So what he says is that have love, but do not make it as a attachment. Anabhisneha. That means no attachment. This particular person, tasya prajna pratishtitaha, the one who is already deeply he is already in his own atma, that prajna pratishtitaha, the one who is deeply what is called engaged with his atma, that particular person is well established in atma. That particular person, anavisneha, he is not going to get into any kind of attachment, whether any kind of situation, sarvatra, shubha shubham, whether he is going to get a pleasant or unpleasant things, prapya, when he gets any of these things, he is not going to get attached to it. Then what is the other thing that is saying? Na binandati, na abhinandati. He is not going to start jumping. When something happens, he is not going to jump and rejoice. Or if something ashubham happens, na dveshti, he does not hate. The person accepts the situation as it is, shubha or ashubha. When shubha comes, he does not start jumping up and down and rejoice. And when dukkha comes, he starts hating that. No. Ashubham comes, he starts hating that. No. So, yes, sarvat yaha, the one, sarvatra anabhisneha, who is going to be unattached in all the situations, tat prapya shubha shubham, whether he is getting shubha or ashubha, whatever he gets, na abhinandati, na dveshti. If that is the person, tasya, that person, prajna pratishtita, he is well established in himself. He does not have to start looking out for his satisfaction. Atmane, atmana, atmanyeva atmana tushtaha. We saw in the first shloka, no, Chitta Prajna. So this is one of the things. So earlier we saw about raga, bhaya, krodha. Here we say shubha shubham yattat prapya na abhinandati na dveshti sarvatra anabhisneha. So these are all the, what I'm telling you, these are all the things that you may have to note down as the things that we can try to practice, which will help us in terms of becoming a slightly better person. And only when you become a better person, you become a karma yogi. Only when we become a karma yogi for a period of time, you'll become a Chitta Prajna. Then only you'll be able to realize yourself. And it is very clearly told that one can liberate himself only in this janma, when he has got a body-mind complex, not after death. A person has to become a Jivan Mukta only. There's nothing that after death I'll go to heaven, or death I'm going to get. No. Knowledge has to be gained when you are in this particular body. And these are all the things that one should develop. Is that clear? I do not know whether I am very too much elaboration or it's confusing. I just wanted to make a point that all these things are very, very important points. Anabhisneha sarvatra shubha shubham na abhinandati na dveshti prajna pratishtita. So that is what we have to understand very, very clearly. Okay. Next shloka, please.
Sheila Shinde Bagini.
Yes, ma'am.
Yada samharate chayam.
यदा संहरते चायम् यदा संहरते चायम्
Urmonganiv sarvashah.
कूर्मोऽङ्गानिव सर्वशः कूर्मोऽङ्गानिव सर्वशः
Urmonganiv sarvashah.
कूर्मोऽङ्गानिव सर्वशः
I think I split it. Kurmaha. Kurmaha means tortoise, turtle, ama. Kurmaha. Angani. Angani means parts of a turtle. Iva. Like the parts of a turtle. Kurmaha. Angani. Iva. Kurmongani. Iva. Okay.
Okay.
Kurmongani. Iva. When you say ni, it is two matra. When you say
Okay.
ni, it is single matra. Two matra
Okay.
means you take double the time for telling ni. When you say
Okay.
ni in 1 second, ni should take 2 seconds. Ni. So
Okay.
this is ni. Kurmonganiv sarvashah.
कूर्मोऽङ्गानिव सर्वशः कूर्मोऽङ्गानिव सर्वशः
Yada samharate chayam. Kurmonganiv sarvashah.
यदा संवरते चायम् कूर्मोऽङ्गानिव सर्वशः यदा संवरते चायम् कूर्मोऽङ्गानिव सर्वशः
Good. Next.
हरिहरन् महोदय.
Yes, sir.
Indriyani.
Indriyani, Indriyani,
Indriyarte.
Indriyarte, Indriyarte,
Indriyani indriyartebhyah.
Indriyani, Indriyartebhyah, Indriyani, Indriyartebhyah,
Indriyani indriyartebhyah. That is dirgha. Ni is dirgha now. When I say when I split it, it becomes indriyani. But when indriyani plus indriyartebhyah, it becomes indriyani indriyartebhyah. That becomes ni becomes ni.
Indriyani, Indriyartebhyah,
Indriyani indriyartebhyah.
Indriyani, Indriyartebhyah,
Yeah. Tasya prajna pratishtita.
Tasya pragya pradishtita, Tasya pragya pradishtita,
Indriyani indriyartebhyah. Tasya prajna pratishtita.
Indriyani, Indriyartebhyah, Tasya pragya pradishtita, Indriyani, Indriyartebhyah, Tasya pragya pradishtita.
Good. Next.
लक्ष्मी बीवी भगिनी.
Yes, but
Yada samharate chayam. Kurmonganiv sarvashah.
यदा संहरते चायम् कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः यदा संहरते चायम् कूर्मोऽङ्गवशः.
Good. Next.
काश्मीरा भगिनी.
Yes, sir.
Indriyani indriyartebhyah. Tasya prajna pratishtita.
इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Good. Next.
मृणालिनी गोपालन् भगिनी.
यदा संहरते चायं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता
यथा संहरते चायं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Good. Next.
भानुरेखा भगिनी.
Yes. यदा संहरते चायं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Next.
विजयलक्ष्मी भगिनी.
यदा संहरते छायं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Good. Next.
शान्ति बद्री भगिनी.
यदा संहरते छायं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Tishtebhyah, not debhyah. Can you chant the second line again? Second line again, please.
I think she's gone.
Okay.
Shanti Badri Bagri.
Second line, sir.
Second line, chant it again.
यथा संहरते छायं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
The te, you have to give a different emphasis. You are telling a debhyah, te. Okay.
ते. Okay.
Yeah. Next.
Krishna Pavani Bagini.
नमस्ते महोदय.
Yeah.
यदा संहरते चायं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Good. One more person.
Rajalakshmi Bagini.
यदा संहरते चायं कूर्मोऽङ्गानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यः तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Okay. Good. So we'll go to this particular shloka. Now, Kurmaha is tortoise. Okay. Kurmaha, Angani. Angani means the various parts of the body. The turtle has got the head and it's got 4 legs and it's all inside the shell. So Kurmani, Angani, Sarvashaka means from all the sides, Samharate, withdraws. If any kind of problem is there, immediately a tortoise is able to withdraw all his organs, take his head also, it will only look like a shell, right? Samharate is withdrawing. Kurmaha Angani Sarvashaha Samharate. Kurmaha, tortoise, Angani, all the parts, Sarvashaha from all sides, Samharate withdraws, right? So Yada Samharate cha Ayam Kurma Angani Iva Sarva. Like that, Iva, a person who is Prajna Pratishtita, the person who is already established in his own Atma, Indriyani is what sense organs. You know, our body has got 5 sense organs. These sense organs, something will smell, something will taste, something will see, something will hear, something will sense, right? These, if you look at that way, the sense organs are what? They are all people who report. The nose will report that there's a wonderful sweet being made, or there's a dirty smell coming somewhere. The eyes will say that I'm able to see this particular letter. I'm seeing the shloka in front of me, and this is the shloka. Eye is able to see that. Or it says this is a beautiful color. This is a beautiful tree I can see. This huge tree I can see. Eye only reports. Eye doesn't do anything. Eye is a reporter. Nose is a reporter. And then skin is a reporter. It says I'm touching something hard. I'm touching something soft. Here, it says I'm hearing something. I'm hearing a music. It is only a reporter. It doesn't do anything. So all the five sense organs that we have in our body are all reporters of the external world to us. Yes, reporters. They don't do anything beyond that. Because they are all indriyani, sense objects. Okay. And then what does the indriyani report? Indriyartebhyah. Whatever they can sense in the external world of objects. Indriya artham. Indriya artham is eyes can only see. So whatever is there, it will say it's a beautiful tree. It's a beautiful bird. So it is indriyartebhyah. Sense objects. Objects of sense are sensed by reported by the indriyan. Okay. Now what is happening is there are only reporters. The sense organs are reporters. And the reporters of indriya artebhyah, the ones the sense object that is being said are reported. Then it comes to the mind. The mind immediately decides, now it's a beautiful, fantastic, sweet being made. I want to eat it. The mind only next decides. So it is not the mistake of the indriyas. It is not the mistake of sense objects. The mind that immediately says, come, let me go for it. Let me go and take this. Let me go and see this. Let me go and do this. Let me go and shout at this fellow. All these things are immediately done by the mind. So that you cannot blame the sense objects, right? It is primarily the mind that is going to take control of sense objects. But what here he is telling is that only when the indriya, the sense objects are able to interact with the world, they are able to provide this feedback, and then the mind starts acting. Like the way a tortoise is able to withdraw all his parts inside his shell, this person is able to withdraw all the sense objects and keep them under control so that they don't even go out. Then he is established in his own, well established in his own Atma. So indriyartebhyah, like the way a tortoise is able to withdraw, the sense objects are able to withdraw from the sense organs, are able to withdraw from the sense organs, sense objects for this particular person who is a Stita Prajna. You understand what I'm telling? On Ekadashi day, some of us are capable of withdrawing ourselves from eating. The day we withdraw, one day we withdraw, right? So we are able to have a control and we withdraw that. On Ekadashi day, somebody will say, I'm going to do a Mauna Vrat. We are going to withdraw ourselves from speaking. We are able to sit in a recluse, silent room and then do meditation. So we are able to withdraw selectively on some times. But for this particular person, all these sense of organs are able to effectively withdraw themselves from the sensory objects, like the way a tortoise is able to withdraw itself from all the sides, all its bodies. Yada कूर्मः अंगानि सर्वतः संहरते तदा इंद्रियाणि इंद्रियार्थेभ्यः prajna pratishtitaha. This particular person is established in his own self by withdrawing the sense objects, sense organs from the sense objects. You got the meaning of it, right? So he is able to have a control of what is that can go to him because he is happy. Atmanyeva atmana tushtaha. He does not have to have something outside for happiness. So he is able to effectively withdraw his sense organs from sensory objects. Okay, next.
Shanti Bhagini. Shanti Bhagini.
Yes, madam.
Vishaya vinivartante.
Vishaya vinivartante. Vishaya vinivartante.
Niraharasya dehinah.
Niraharasya dehinah. Niraharasya dehinah.
Vishaya vinivartante. Niraharasya dehinah.
Vishaya vinivartante. Niraharasya dehinah. Vishaya vinivartante. Niraharasya dehinah.
Good, next.
Veena Fanishri Bhagini.
Yes, sir.
Rasavarjam rasopyasya
Rasavarjam rasopyasya. Rasavarjam rasopyasya.
param drishtva nivartate.
Param drishtva nivartate. Param drishtva nivartate.
Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate.
Rasavarjam rasopyasya. Param drishtva nivartate. Rasavarjam rasopyasya. Param drishtva nivartate.
What you said is correct. Param drishtva is correct. When you chant them together, you can say param drishtva, in drishtva. Instead of im, use ind. Param drishtva nivartate.
Param drishtva nivartate.
Okay.
Rasavarjam rasopyasya. Param drishtva nivartate.
Next.
K. Lalita Bhagini.
Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah.
विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः.
Good. Next.
Lalita Ramachandran Bhagini.
Yes, ma'am.
Rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate.
Rasavarcham rasupasya param drishtva nivartate. Rasavarchan rasupasya
Yes.
param
So rasaha api asya rasopyasya.
Rasavarchan rasupasya param drishtva nivartate. Rasavarchan rasopasya
Rasopasya illa rasopyasya.
Rasavarchan rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate. Rasavarchan rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate.
Next. Both the lines together. Next person.
Gurumurthy Mahodaya.
Two lines together.
Yes, sir. Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah sarvajam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate.
No, can you second line you tell?
Varjam
Oh, second line
rasopyasya.
fully. Second line fully.
Rasavarjam rasopyasya
Oh, okay.
drishtva nivartate.
Okay, good. Next.
Rajeshwari Shivashankar Bhagini.
Two lines together.
विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते.
Next.
Sharada Rajan Bhagini.
Yes. विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते.
Next.
Mrinalini Gopalan Bhagini.
Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasavarjam rasopyasya param drishtva nivartate.
More person.
Bhanureka Bhagini.
विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते.
Now we'll go to the meaning of this. This is so earlier shloka we said that like the way a tortoise is able to withdraw all its body, Purmongani Sarvashaha Samharate, like the way it is able to withdraw itself, Indriyani Indriyartebhyaha. So these people are able to withdraw from the sense objects, their senses. These are Siddha Prajna. Now, Niraharasya Dehinada, the person who does not feed his sense organs is a Niraharam. He is just Udasinam Bandar, the person who is not getting fed by the sense organs. For those people also, the senses vinivartante, Vishaya vinivartante. What happens is the senses suddenly come back. They will say that I'm not going to eat Rasagulla for next henceforth. He'll be like that. Suddenly, after some one fine morning, he says, Aaj to khana hai Rasagulla. Suddenly it comes back. So these things are what? It is not withdrawal. Primarily, we are all suppressing. So initially, what happens is that we start off with those kinds of things, but there is a possibility that it is not actual withdrawal. It is more of suppression of the sensory pleasures than actual withdrawal, because they nivartante, vinivartante, they again come back. So what happens that here to now, there is a taste that is already there inside your sense mind of all these things, Rasagulla, these, that, everything is there. But only thing you are able to have a control over senses, but that is still there inside your mind thing. And suddenly one fine morning it comes back. So you have to now get rid of those kinds of rasa varjam. You have to get rid of those things also. And those things happen only with constant practice, when param drishtva, when a person is able to really be a sthita prajna for a long time, and he has been able to establish in the Atma himself. For those people, these things does not return also. Otherwise, in the process of getting into sthita prajna, you'll be able to have a control, but Vishaya vinivartante, suddenly at some point in time it does come back to you. But once you are able to get to the ultimate of understanding who you are, rasavarjam, even those kinds of things, that sensory things that was stored in the mind will not impact you. They also will get absolutely discarded or leave you. The longing that you are having for the sensory things will all leave you. That is what is the, so it means a lot of practice. That's what he's telling. Okay, so I think with this we'll close. I'll quickly chant the 4 slokas we took today. Okay. Dukkeshvanudvignamanaha sukeshu vikataspruhaha vitaraga krodha stidadir muniruchyate yas sarvatra nabhisneha tat prapya shubhashubham nabhinandati nadveshti tasya prajna pratishtita yada samharate chayam Purmungani sarvashah Indriyani indriyatebhyah tasya prajna pratishtita Vishaya vinivartante niraharasya dehinah rasavarjam rasopyasya parandrištva nivartate. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudashyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Guru Bhyo Namaha.